the LPL. So we kick off game number 1 of Weibo versus Anyone's Legend in Shanghai. It is going to be Weibo on the blue side banning away the Ashe, Sejuani, and Leona. It's the Tristana, Renekton, and Rumble ban on the other side by Anyone's Legend. First pick of the Lucian with that flexibility it brings, but Anyone's Legend now looking to grab maybe a little bit of the prio on jungle.
I absolutely love the adaptation and the switching over to the B1 Lucian, because once Tristana is out of the picture, it is the single-handedly strongest AD carry in that mid lane. Whoa! Hope locking in that Draven super early. Surprisingly enough, no brand for Croco either. They're gonna go towards that Zyra, having that peel for the Draven later on in the fights.
Love to see this being brought out. Just going for the 2v2s. So maybe trying to force those supports to stay in the lane here as well. And very important to put a little bit of a spotlight there onto Hope himself, who has had a long career in a lot of rights, but since the transplant over with him and Shanks from WE, it's been really nice to see. Also, I was checking to make sure, and this would be the first competitive Draven, at least in the listings for Hope. So a lot of fun to see him whip that one out. It is the Lilia and the Cassante backed by Weibo.
I was just about to say, with Light and Chris being a huge threat on Weibo Gaming and Hope having such great games recently, I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of lane dominance. However, I was also not expecting a blind Draven coming out from Hope. Draven does a certain level of dominance in lane. However, you need to make sure that you've got the right tools to keep him alive and also have the pressure with needed support. Now, being on red side, you've got more than enough tools to choose a counterpick on your support to try and get the Draven to shine. Things like heavy engagers, like the Leona's been banned out. You've got Rel, Alistar, and Nautilus coming right up, which are usually things that you pair up with the Draven.
Try to take away some of those big tools. It is also a classic being taken away from Weibo at this point with the Senna ban towards Light. I've been very happy to pick that one up in the Rumble stage so far. We'll see if that support will focus or any of those engage options may be taken away a little bit more here by Weibo in the second phase.
I feel like for Weibo, they are also looking for something more lane dominant. I think Olai's fall onto that misfortune. He's had the spotlight for quite a while. Sees a stat checker, and also it just goes so well with the combo with the Lilia. You put someone to sleep bullet time right on top, and you have somebody that gets deleted out of the picture. So if Weibo Gaming are really truly looking for bot lane dominance, they could potentially slam a wombo combo on the bot side.
Would love to see that big ban, because that's also been, you know, something that's been rising in a lot of priority in terms of misfortune. It is that ban, and the last ban by Anyone's Legend here in the first game. See if maybe Rel, things like that, are the ban priority for Weibo.
Now, this becomes a whole different story, because the stat checker is gone out the picture, and AL also have counterpick and support. A lot of the times we might see things like the Ezreal Braum being locked in pretty blindly. However, then Weibo lose their ability to engage on those team fights and go on to AL. Now, wait, what?
It's going to be the Ezreal locked in for this mid lane setup. As they will try to steal that one away, but also still very viable in that mid lane here for them. So we'll see what the answer is going to be now for Weibo on their side with the last 2 picks of their own.
I was about to say, you're looking for lane dominance, but a lot of your dominant champions have left the building, so potentially you could play for scaling later on. You see that Ezreal getting locked in, but this is most likely a mid lane Ezreal for Shanks.
There is a wild world where Kael pulls it out in support. We'll see as we get through the rest of this one. But the Kaisa locked in for Light. Something he hasn't pulled out just yet in the Rumble stage, but still very strong pick for him. And also a lot of follow-up into the CC that they now have as they lock in the Rel.
Ooh, loving something like a Braum or even an Alistar right here. If you want to play towards that Draven down the bot lane, it's a great combo. Kaisa, an extremely short-ranged AD carry that you can punish very early on in the laning phase. We'll see if they're going to go for the more defensive or offensive option right here. However, if they choose to go for that Braum and not the Alistar, your chances of engaging onto Weibo or catching them off guard are a little bit lessened right here. We're going to have the Braum coming in the end for the side of AL, and they have a fantastic, again, peeling composition, playing towards allowing Weibo to come at you. There's a bunch of engage on the side of Weibo with the Lilia, with the Rel as well. So AL will be more than happy inviting them in. And if this doesn't change, there's also Shanks on the Draven mid lane.
Yeah, Maybe a little bit of spice added in at the last second here. But I also want to take a look at Weibo's side where they have a lot of dive potential. They have a lot of follow-up potential as well. I think Xiaohu and Light's going to have a lot to say.
You know, I didn't expect any more 80 carries to peak in the mid lane. But now I think we've truly seen it all. The Draven for Shanks in the mid lane, one of the most dominant 80 carries. One that dunks out so much damage also in the early game when you do catch those axes off the floor. So we'll see how he's gonna take the heat onto that Lucian that was B1 from the side of Weibo Gaming.
That's why I was like, I mean, this would be a first time for in a storied career. A first-time pick Draven here at the Rebels. I was like, there's got to be something there. A little bit of spice given, though, by anyone's legend to kick us off here. They have a very strong composition. They have a lot of peel tools, but it's all about Weibo's momentum. And looking at this series as a whole, this is a proving grounds of sort. For anyone's legend, it's a chance to prove that they deserve to be at the top of this table in Group Ascend. For Weibo, it's trying to dispel the doubt that always rears its ugly head with this team. They've lost to some of the best teams. They've won against some of the best teams. But now is a chance to recoup after a devastating loss to Top Esports. We get into it now, our second best of 3 of the day. And it's, of course, anyone's legend versus Weibo.
Wow. Everyone's very excited, Mazel, for this series, and rightly so. Both teams have been performing more than we expected them to, especially for AL. And they did take JDG to all 3 games before they fell victims to it. Now, of course, AL have a Brom and a double 80 carry, so usually you will see either a late invade or some sort of aggressive push into enemy jungle to try and take some control. You'll see Shanks has walked into the Raptors right there of Tarzan. Sets down some vision for that early game, make sure that he doesn't get backstabbed. Draven, a very lane dominant AD carry. However, when alone, when you don't have help from any support, you could be very easily susceptible to die.
I want to see what they utilize this Draven for, especially maybe some priority it gives. Giving Croco a lot of options. Yeah, just a couple auto attacks early from Draven. Any ADC player will know, and those level 1s do not go your way. I'm particularly looking at the path right now for both Tarzan and Croco. I said they probably are looking to have a little bit of activity from their bot lanes, but they are both going to be looking like pathing towards top.
Well, yeah, of course, an AoE jungler wants to start at chickens. And also another very clever thing that you can do, when you know your chickens have been warded, you can take them first and then you dip into fog of war. So enemy team will not necessarily have info whether you went towards the tops of the map or whether you're full clearing from bot to top. This time around, I'm expecting Tarzan to sort of clear Raptors through top and then end up back into that bot lane. As you can see, Hope and Kael are actually pushing. So if that continues to be the case, you could potentially have an opening to try and get a summoner.
Kael's going to have a lot to say on this Braum if he can get active with the rest of the map, because those concussive blows followed up on by the amount of range they have with Hope and Shanks. It's going to be really important as we see the level 1 trade. Exactly what happened. Yes. It was the early barrier.
Wow. Okay, that is a very well done case right there for Shanks, because that cooldown is almost back up and available in just 2 levels time. So if he uses aggressively to get that first level 1, gets the push into that mid lane, knows that he can dip into river, hold on.
Those plasma stacks do a lot of damage there if you don't have the Unbreakable ready to go. He did burn the flash.
But that is perfect, because look at Tarzan, he's pathing towards that bot side of the map. If there is an opening, that ward is gonna die soon in the pixel brush. So this could be the perfect opportunity. They're pinging him right now that he's at his Grom, because Croco has already scouted towards the tops of the map, so they know exactly where Tarzan is at this point.
Both junglers using the mind games of the vision a lot in the early game so far. Will be the scuttle in the bot side, secured by Croco. Tarzan waiting in the bush here. He's sneaky. There will be the plants coming alive for Croco there, and Tarzan being rebuffed.
And Croco has the chance to double Skull Crab right here if he wants to. Seeing as Tarzan had to fall off, going back, probably having if not fated, Ash is close too. He's not gonna back yet. He's just sprinting through mid lane, trying to stop Xiaohu from pushing. The slow.
That's so much damage, though, as well. Croco going to take a decent amount on the back end, though. Swirl Seed had come down. Not going to do it. There is the signaling. Now, usually there's a number in that category, and it might be the first time we're seeing the Draven in mid lane. The LPL here. Croco, though, he's going to try to call for that Draven onto Tarzan, who is on the wrong side of the tracks now. He is Lilia, though, and has a lot of speed. He'll try to get a little bit of speed up against Kael, but now he's in a lot of trouble. He's going to try to hit Blast Cone into it, and he could get the kill over to Kael here. He's actually going to turn back right. He thought maybe there was an exit strategy, and now he's just proxying the wave. Tarzan's having a lot of fun here because he's trying to make his way out.
He's won so much time in the process.
Oh my goodness.
He's not making it easy for Croco to get this kill, and Kael has to stick around because a whole combo, he's just taking more creeps. A whole combo from Tarzan right there could potentially kill Croco off, but that is so much time that Kael had to waste on the map, whilst Crisp, on the other hand, had the time to head back bot lane. They were taking the push, which means Hope had to play under tower. Again, all this time that Tarzan wasted off of Kael, you see that Weibo have gained onto the map.
See what that leads towards as well now that we have objectives coming up. Kael has made his way back down towards bot side. Dragon is up and available, but both pings looking out towards this top side. The grubs are to play for, and we have level 6s for our solo laners. Shanks a little bit off of it now that Xiaohu has the advantage. He wants to step forward. Does get the culling into the back of him. Shanks going to be very close to level 6.
Looks so grim right here for Shanks. He's almost got it. They've spotted Croco as well on the side right there, trying to clear that brush. And this is the whole part about Lucian. Draven can run you down with auto-attacks, but Lucian has that burst. When it sticks, it really hurts. Croco has no flash.
Yeah, there's no way out for Croco here. He just goes down immediately. What a pounce from Weibo. And now Shanks in a lot of trouble. He has flash. Going to save it for the moment. Has to stay on the side, but now Swirl Seed hits. He flashes afterwards. He's going to heal back up, though, after popping. And we get a little bit more action than maybe we expected in mid lane.
Tried to potentially bait a flash from Xiaohu right there with his own flash. However, now you're stuck underneath the tower. Don't have a lot of HP. You'll see the red buff is on Xiaohu. He's going to be regening quite a bit. He could be getting dived.
He has the play. He misses. And Xiaohu beautifully executes him. Oh, bot lane, bot lane, bot lane. Crisp in low, though, and Hope gets it as well. So there is the trade back in the end. And bot lane stepping up big for anyone's legend.
Oh, this is going to be the battle of the 80 carries for sure, but it's not going to be the 80 carry in the bot lane for Weibo Gaming. Xiaohu with a 2-0. As you can see the replay on what happened right there. Overextension by Crisp ended up costing him his life right there. And this is the whole matchup that we're talking about. Whenever you're going up against Braum, you get that initial engage, but a lot of that engage and the damage up front is blocked by the Unbreakable. Therefore, you end up going down because the stun sticks, the slow sticks, and you can very easily proc that. Oh no,
Tarzan
Croco
has 6. Croco, he's in trouble. Might not even need it. Croco just goes down again. Tarzan gonna be saying you should have stuck to the brand.
Yeah.
Hope, what's up, Hope? Hope is stepping up time and time again, but now Light his killer instinct over to him. That's the flash out, and Kael coming over to save the day. The Unbreakable, is it going to be enough? The flash is forward. Tarzan claims the kill in the end. Now Kael in some trouble, but in mid lane, it's Shank for Xiaohu, and Xiaohu sits him down.
Both of these teams have so much to prove, and every single lane has been going at it. Shanks versus Xiaohu. Xiaohu's coming out on top, 3-0, 1,000 gold in the lead so far. And Hope tries to make the hero play down bot, then ends up being shot down. Almost gets out with his life. Mazel, I'm not gonna lie to you. At the very beginning, we were chatting about these two teams and we're like, oh, Breathe and Ale, for sure, they're gonna go at it. They play bruisers, you know, they play AP top laners. It has not been the case. They've been stuck on tanks for the entirety of game number 1, and everyone else has been literally fighting tooth and nail. The gold, almost dead even.
Yeah, the big impact will be later on for our top laners especially, but right now it's the mind games of what's happening bot.
And I feel like Croco has been overextending quite a bit. You know, your support is all the way back in base. Hope doesn't have much burst up front, tries to save you, doesn't have level 6 on the Zyra. And Hope makes a really lovely play right here, but Croco died so quickly that Tarzan didn't even have to use his ultimate in the previous skirmish. It would have been a completely different story if Tarzan did not have that ultimate available. However, it's going to be a 2-for-1 in favor of Weibo.
He's the one that steps up and initiates it, even with it. Still very close. Oh my goodness. We're looking back at it again. It's like deja vu, but Shanks not gonna go down. Oh, the bird! It's just enough, and Tarzan claims it. And oh my goodness.
Just about. Shanks lives there. It's not going to be enough, and that Draven pick is not looking that great at the moment, Mazel. Xiaohu has absolutely dominated that mid lane. Lost at level 1 with Shanks using barriers so aggressively just purely to take control of that lane. And ever since, he's lost every single one of those trades. I feel like there's so much in line to that level 1 from the Draven, being able to overforce those auto attacks on your opponent, and then they never get to come back. However, Xiaohu has had a great resurgence from that level 1.
He's sitting at 3-0 already with the plated steel caster mid lane. A lot of strength going to be given over to this Lucian, especially once he's able to get out onto the map as well. Now we take a look down bot side where Croco wants to make something happen. We said from the beginning, Croco and Kael, they are the important duo to combine to make things happen for anyone's legend. If they're going to make things happen, it's got to start sooner rather than later. Although Tarzan is hunting nearby, anyone's legend feel the pressure and then will move away.
He's also level 8, which means he's one level higher.
This again?
Above Croco. Shanks is one level down to Xiaohu. Xiaohu also has the steel caps right there to try and mitigate a bunch of those auto attack damage that's coming through. Meanwhile, thank you, observers. This is a very interesting matchup to look at.
Hey, Alla got the combo, all right? Alla's all right.
You're right. Oh.
We did get the culling in mid lane. Still flash available. And the whirling death for Shanks.
Croco is looking, however, everything has been lit up with Weibo's vision right there. He's just about going to cross, and they know exactly where he is. He's heading down bot lane again. However, every single time Croco has tried to make anything happen, he kind of gets backstabbed by Tarzan. Great vision right there. Allows Tarzan to sort of stick it down on the Rift Herald up top as well. Grabbing the neutral objective. Croco wrapping around that mid lane, but Xiaohu playing perfectly towards the top river, ready to dip into Fog of War. Sorry, not Rift Herald. It is going to be, of course, the Void Grubs 11 minutes
it's
in.
Grub-ageddon! Oh no! What do we do?
There's too many Void things on the map, you know?
We get all 6 grubs secured by Weibo. They've had really strong control over the objectives so far in this series and so far in this game. It is also the injuries plus boots completed for Tarzan, so even more strength coming back onto the map. And you'll have to hope that there's a little bit of hope for anyone's legend in terms of their damage potential coming up. And Shanks really needs to complete items.
Yeah, I don't know about any hope left for AL. Double Kraken Slayer is what I see from the side of Weibo Gaming. And however, AL might have 2 tanks, but Weibo Gaming have 2 tank killers in their team. Tarzan is now looking for Ale. He's not going to connect the orb. And I just wanted to talk to you for just a second. If you guys are not aware of Xiaohu, there's 6 Void Grubs in the team, and usually when you get 6 Void Grubs in the team, you're looking for a split pusher. You're looking for somebody that can hammer down those towers and really put that pressure on the side lane, and in general on the opponent team. Xiaohu was considered probably one of the best top laners when he swapped over to that top lane, as well as one of the best mid laners in the LPL. So if somebody knows about side lane pressure, it definitely is him.
His time as the general for RNG was a huge voice on the team, especially with Ming. They were the leading hands of the shot calling for that team, and it has consistently been the case that Xiaohu finds himself in strong positions in macro. There have been some question marks now and then, maybe the side lane not as strong as it was when the LeBlanc meta was around, but now in this one has a lot of potential on the Lucian to have that with no real answer in the side lane. Just look at that damage, and Shanks, he's getting the culling of the back. If he doesn't flash that, he's going down. And Tarzan with the influence here as well. He's gonna find Kael with a lot of the slowdown. Tarzan wants to keep going. They're under the turrets here, and the tier 1 hasn't even been taken.
And that's the exact pressure we talked about exerting on the map from Xiaohu. Not only does he almost get the solo kill, burns double summoners from Shanks, forces AL to play towards wherever he is, which means that Weibo are a little bit more free to play on the other side. Talking about this though, they're not as free as I was expecting. Hope was pressuring Light so hard underneath the tower, and so is Ale on to breathe. So Xiaohu's pressure right here is much more important than I thought it was. It's not just about freeing the other members from playing the game a little bit easier on the map. It's about everyone else is kind of struggling at this moment from Weibo Gaming in terms of laning phase. So Xiaohu creating that advantage on his side could be what they need for AL to shift their attention onto him.
And he's got all the gold leads under his pockets there, so he's got to find a way to either manage that into the side lane pressure or get it to the rest of the team in some way, shape, or form. We have 10 seconds for the next dragon. Again, we said earlier, Weibo had complete objective control so far. See if they continue that here as well. They still have the Rift Herald maybe as a distractionary play as well.
Xiaohu is the man for everything. He's like, you want pressure top? Done. Takes the tower. You want pressure bot? Done. He's actually super strong to play into the Poppy as well. You don't necessarily have to dash into the champion. You're pretty close enough to take trades with her. However, you need to be careful not to get too close and get caught with the W when you're trying to dash away or in. Poppy is very, very potent when you're trying to engage onto her. Xiaohu right now, absolute control of the side lane, no matter which champion shows up. Weibo Gaming trying to pressure in that mid lane to try and take control of that dragon coming up. They already have one in their pocket, having a second one and starting to stack them. Could be absolutely huge for them trying to force fights later on.
Trying to get a redeploy back onto the map for anyone's legend down towards this bottom side. Maybe contest over this dragon. Did get started up by Weibo and pulled out of the pit, but not going to commit to it just yet. Tarzan always hunting and waiting. They do have very nice targets for the Rift Herald. They want to pop it. Bree's going to move down the mid lane now as well.
They have 5 members down the bot side of the map. Weibo Gaming now threatening that mid lane. Reminder, they have 6 Void Grubs, so they do burst through those towers quite easily. However, somebody's going to have to answer to Ale up in the top side of the map. There is not much pressure on the map, so he doesn't feel the need to TP in yet. The more you leave that Poppy alone up top lane, you're going to be losing structures on the map without necessarily trading anything, and this is actually going to be the case. Weibo Gaming resetting right here, allowing AL not only to save their towers, push top, and walk into that river to establish some vision. That's a small W for AL.
It definitely is. I think this is a team that has shown a lot of grit in their split so far. It's been a little bit of a long one to some extent, but their Rumble stage has been very dominant. Their placement stage was also very dominant. And it was a pleasant surprise coming into the split to see how strong they were. Now, Light's going to find a pleasant surprise gift onto Hope with about half his health gone.
Yeah, Hope wasn't very pleasantly surprised right there as he lost his entire, half his HP bar, sorry. Riftwell is going to be summoned right here, knowing that Hope is under pressure in the mid lane, losing a bunch of that HP bar. The charge is going to come in. You have to commit to killing that Herald before you move in.
They're actually going to try to take out Kael, and then he also got all the damage from Light on top of him. Glacial Fissure in the middle of it, canceled because he just goes down. Another charge in mid lane by the Rift Herald. Meanwhile, he's got a 1v1 in top side. Allah in some trouble now. He's trying to run away from all outed Breathe. That's lasting damage done by Weibo in mid lane, though.
Great play by Weibo. They knew that AL had to commit to kill that Rift Herald if they wanted to have any sort of pressure into River to try and contest for that dragon. Meanwhile, you've got pressure from Xiaohu down the bot lane. You see that Crisp is also around to try and cover for him. Shanks has to wait in a brush, which means not only is he losing all these creeps to the tower, but a lot of that standing gold goes in the pockets of Xiaohu as well as securing that dragon. And let's have a look at this again. You know that AL have to commit right here. The tower is going to go down. Tarzan and mark Kael really nicely right here, and then he will move forward for that sleep. A bunch of the initial damage gets blocked by the Unbreakable, but once Light goes in and the Unbreakable is down, they just finish off Kael and take full pressure on the both side of the map.
Now we're looking at the second item being completed realistically for Weibo, as they have the Guinsus in the Essence Reaver there for Light and Xiaohu respectively. Anyone's Legend looking to be a little bit proactive now, again with this combo of Croco and Kael, who have been so potent for this team so far. But Weibo, it seems to have woken up a little bit from their rattling against top esports here recently.
I would say that it's not that bad for EL if there was any other mid laner other than Draven. This is the kind of champion that wants to have pressure and cash in early on, and currently he's sitting on a 2k gold deficit right there.
He's gone! The light shines through, and there's no hope left for anyone's legend. There's the whirling death. Is it going to be enough? Get the snipe, and he gets the cash in.
Just about as I was saying, this guy needs to cash in. Oh, wait, there's more.
He's going to be low on those stacks from the deaths, but still, it is a dub nonetheless. Now, Shanks has completed the Lord Doms after that one, so second item is completed there. A little bit more strength for anyone's legend in the fighting potential now.
Grabs that crit cloak as well. A few crits onto the key targets like Kai'Sa, Lucian, Lilia. Could be very pivotal for a W right here from AL. Again, Weibo Gaming with so much pressure on the map. Light has been playing absolutely out of his mind. Xiaohu
One
getting
auto
tagged.
attack, by the way. Glacier Fisher going to hit on the double. Members now Tarzan needs to body block a little bit as Kael being very annoying. And Allah gets the deep flank, and Xiaohu in a lot of trouble now too. He's going to dash to a safety. Keeper's verdict, and it's going to be a kill by Allah onto the major member of Xiaohu, the guy that had all the gold for Weibo.
Great flank from Ale to catch Xiaohu. He has everything in his pocket. The entire lead is onto him, and AL are looking straight for that Baron. They need to start dodging a lot of these Lilia abilities because there's still a bunch of AoE. Crisp is still there. Does have the ultimate.
This is a heck of a call if AL want to do this. They're going to turn the fight. They get the wall bang there as well. Allah's still tanking up, but there's the lilting lullaby coming in. Light still going to be massive. Tarzan getting a lot of damage here too. Breathe all out and back.
Tarzan!
And now Weibo. Look at Tarzan go. Light stepping up as well. All out and breathe, making the difference. Can Hope stay alive? Hope the only no. It's not enough. Light shuts him down again. And what a masterful series of plays by Weibo in that fight. And they're on to the Baron.
Tarzan goes absolutely crazy. Croco is still around for the Baron.
He popped them out now. The Baron's still being taken. I think Weibo, they're going to force this one. Croco, no way into the pit, no smite. And the Baron secured by Weibo.
The second he sees Xiaohu, he pulls back. Croco doesn't have the flash to try and grab that Baron. And let's watch this again. Light tags with the W onto Hope and absolutely all-ins him. This is why Kai'Sa is so strong into the Ezreal, because you get to dash onto him and absolutely annihilate him before any of the poke from Ezreal lands. And he gets sniped out by Shanks from the other side of the map. 647 gold, we take those. And this is an absolute masterclass from Tarzan. You'll see the orb goes in, he tags a bunch of people, he puts them to sleep, and then he dashes in. But this is only just the beginning. Light went crazy too, but that flash from Tarzan was absolutely massive to try and help Light and Breathe to follow through that play. Absolute masterclass by the two carries of Weibo Gaming.
The fact that Light gets Killer Instinct up, we started that replay with Hope dying to Killer Instinct on her turret, and then Light finishes it by killing Hope again with it. Absolute insanity there. And now we get our repositioning around this bottom side, because Dragon number 3 on the table for Weibo, and a lot of strength under toe as well.
Oh, breathe.
Caught out. Gotta be careful. It's about the position now. Weibo can collapse. They've got Crisp on the flank. They've got Xiaohu moving up as well. They might have caught Allah here, overextended. He is in trouble now. The rest of the team trying to body block on the other side, but it's not going to be enough. He's completely left out to dry, and this Baron buff is about to get so much work done for Weibo as they crash onto a tier 2 tower in bot side.
Remember, AL love it when Weibo Gaming engage upon them. However, it's a 4 versus 5 line.
Can't do that. Light has been willing to pull the trigger every time, and it's been a massive difference maker here now as well. Weibo onto the inhib now in bot side. They're trying to take this one down. It looks like they'll pull off afterwards as well. Maybe look to the Dragon, as they do need to get a little bit more health under themselves as they do. It is anyone's legend moving out to push mid lane.
Fantastic push by Weibo Gaming right there. They used their Baron buff to actually take objectives like towers instead of that dragon first. They could have very easily tried to bait AL into walking for that dragon. However, they have so much standing gold in their pockets, translated into items, that right now is the time to fight and take it all. And that's exactly what they did. Grab that inhibitor tower down the bot side of the map and the dragon on the way out. Now sitting on Soul Point, and it's going to also be an Ocean Soul. Having all that pull coming in from Ezreal, I mean, he makes the hopes of Hope carrying a little bit less.
And we talked about from the draft how much influence priority of the solo lanes would have on this jungle matchup as well. And Xiaohu getting those early kills helped put Tarzan in the position that he's in now, where he can just kind of run rampant on the map. He's also got the Seekers as well, and he's been able to kind of push the tempo on the Croco, having a pretty huge CS lead as well in that regard.
Yeah, Shanks has been shot down off the get-go, and Draven is one of those champions that really relies on snowballing. As you can see here, Hope is literally tickling Breathe at this point, and Hope together with Croco Zara are going to be probably majority of your damage. Croco hiding in there has to come out eventually, because when you have a tank running out, you have to forfeit the space, and Weibo Gaming will be taking another free tower.
Oh, Chris, but there's the killer instinct on top of it. There's the Wombo combo, but not for anyone's legend. They will get one back in the end, but a culling to the back, and that's easily the retreat option for anyone's legend being cut off at the head. They will end up losing Kael as well under turret, and now you've got Ala trying to separate him, but it gets all outed by Breathe, and a triple kill for Light, who is 8-1 on this Kaisa, almost going to 9-1 with that one.
Flashes for the W right there for Light. This is a statement game for the Weibo Gaming AD carry. Weibo right here. The death timers are not quite long enough for them to end the game. However, every single inhibitor is going to be dead by the time they're done with AL's base.
The man that made miracles happen on LNG, Light, has come into question in this split. In this year, him and Chris were a wonderful combo, and it's been something they've been working on for a long time. But here in the Rumble stage, we've seen huge moments of brightness from them, and this in particular is one of Light's best games of this split so far. He's on 3.5 items now, with the own Seeker's Arm Guard in his inventory. And a lot of time left to kill for Weibo.
I don't think he's even back yet. I think he's farming the chickens, trying to get another item. Fantastic engage right there from Chris. Sees Croco, knows that Light will instantly flash R to get into the plane. That's exactly what's happening. And right here, Weibo are just slapping AL with their wallets. They have too much damage. They've got too much engage, and AL are trying to run back into their towers, but they have no allies left to run to. Light just deals so much damage. He even flashes for the W right there to try and poke Hope. I don't think the W would have killed him, as you can see. He'll flash for the W. I don't think it was going to be quite enough, but hey.
It had the plasma stags.
Props for the style.
Xiaohu just gets obliterated from his team. And that was a huge pickoff by Ala. He did burn the flash for it, but the defense will stand by anyone's legend.
No Baron available for Weibo Gaming. He's just going to slow down their siege. 37 seconds for Xiaohu to get back up again. However, Weibo Gaming, I'm not gonna lie to you, are so strong with Lily and Kaisa, where they could keep up the pressure like this. 4 versus 5. Try and create as much pressure, push AL back into their base as much as possible. Breathe, more than happy to be alone versus 2 on the tops of the map. Super tanky at this point. We saw Hope later, earlier on, throw some poke towards him, and he was barely tickling him. I think Ale is doing more damage to him at this point than the Ezreal. Double super minions raining through AO space as Weibo Gaming are gonna go for their second Baron, of the series.
The difficulty for anyone's legend is, again, kind of those dive tools, the follow-up tools we've talked about the entire game for Weibo. As soon as you overextend, they just follow and completely take you down. The Baron is also taken, so now the siege is going to be that much more potent against anyone's legend. And I think we saw some of the reasoning why we go with this double marksman with a little bit of the strength for Shanks on the Draven in mid lane, but the holistic team composition for Weibo has just been too strong.
Yeah, and I feel like AL have been bleeding through mid lane, not being able to stabilize there, has not allowed Croco to play his game on his AP champions, and he has really hurt them. Right now, they're about 10k gold down, and this is going to be their last try to defend their base.
Tarzan hits one big lilting lullaby that could just be the death knell for anyone's legend in this first game. First World Seed will hit on the hope. He's not going to pop it just yet. They're going to try to work on these inhibs as they do.
He does have a flash. He wants to, if he sees them clumped, he's trying for it.
Ala right there to body block, though, is going to push him back. Now double knockup by Kael as they get a big Glacial Fissure back. Crisp getting low. Nobody going to go down just yet by Weibo. Tarzan wants a big play, but they have to back up. The health bars just aren't there for the damage dealers.
They're overextending a little bit under the Nexus Tower. However, they get the objective they came for, which was at least one of the two last towers remaining for AL. AL absolutely choked underneath the last remaining tower overall.
If they get the Ocean Soul, they can keep sieging. Their health bars are going to be just fine. They can't get caught, though. As the Dragon goes over, now Bree's going to go all out, healing up so much. Look at Chris, the three-man Magnet Storm, and anyone's legend. They're being picked apart here again. Weibo get one back to them, but Ala is going to flash away. The last Nexus turret is still on the horizon. Tarzan getting chunked by Shanks. There's the TP in from Ala as they're trying to save the base. Hope is down, Shanks is down, and Weibo consistently inconsistent. They'll take game number 1 against anyone's legend.
What a huge statement game by Weibo Gaming. AL is the team that all the big teams were looking at. They saw them absolutely smash placements. They get into group ascent, they smash 3 teams back to back to back, clean 2-0s, impeccable play, quick macro, fast tempo, outplaying everyone in lane. They come into this series versus Weibo Gaming. Consistently inconsistent, they showed up and showed off, and specifically for Xiaohu, who was heavily criticized throughout the year for not being a top performer in this particular team that made Worlds Finals last year. Having this performance says a lot.
He set up the team so that Light could down smash over onto anyone's legend. Now it's going to be difficult for anyone's legend to bounce back, but we do expect that bounce back. We'll be right back with our own little break and our game 2.